Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. And I want to do a quick breakdown. I say quick, but it's really not even a breakdown either. It's really more of a reading over the letter of Jeremiah, or sometimes it's called Baruch chapter 6. I think in the Apocrypha it's Baruch chapter 6, but on the app it's letter of Jeremiah. But yeah, let's just get right into it. This is letter of Jeremiah chapter 1 in verse 1. It says, a copy of an epistle which Jeremy, which is Jeremiah, sent unto them which were to be led captives into Babylon by the king of the Babylonians, to certify them as it was commanded of them. Because of the sins which ye have committed before God, ye shall be led away captives into Babylon by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. So if you don't know anything, if you don't know any history, anything, Jeremiah and Baruch, they were pre-Babylon. They were, I would say, pre-Babylon, kind of going into Babylon type deal. You know, they was prophesying heavily about us going into the captivity of Babylon. But I'm going to keep reading. Verse 3, it says, so when ye be come unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations. And after that, I will bring you away peaceably from thence. 7 generations, we will be in the captivity under Babylon for 70 years. What is it? Salakia. But yeah, the 7 generations is representing the 70 years of captivity that we would go to Babylon. Let me keep going. Verse 4. It says, now shall ye see in Babylon gods of gold. Salakia. Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver and of gold and of wood borne upon shoulders, which cause the nations to fear. Beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers, neither be ye and of them. And when ye see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping them, but say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee. So when we was to be carried into Babylon, we would see, he's giving us a warning, we would see many gods borne upon shoulders, which caused the nations, or another word for nations is Gentiles. It would cause the nations to fear. The Gentiles fear their idols. You know, we fear the Most High God. They fear their gods. It says that we should be nothing like those heathens. We should be nothing like those strangers, because we know the God we worship. We know the God we serve. We know he's not an idol like these gods of silver, wood, gold. And he's gonna go more in depth about these idols here in a second. But what are we supposed to say? But say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee. For mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your souls. Now we know men like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego understood this. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came after Jeremiah. They were in the Babylonian captivity, and they knew this. They knew this wisdom. They knew these things. Then we got a quick precept, Psalms 34:7. Let's go check that out. It's a great precept to pair with this. Psalms 34:7. It says, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Same way Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was delivered. Same way Daniel was delivered a multitude of times. Let's get back to the letter of Jeremiah, though. Verse 8. It says, as for their tongue, it is polished by the workmen, and they themselves are gilded and laid over with silver. Yet are they but false and cannot speak. So these idols may have tongues that's polished and worked up and so on and so forth by these workmen, the smiths, the blacksmiths, and the people that's creating them. But yet they cannot speak. These false idols cannot speak. You can look up an idol. You can look up ancient idols today, and you can see that they cannot speak. They're nothing but vessels. This is the thing. These are the things that caused the other nations these are the things that caused us to fall, Salakia, not the other nations. These idols caused us to fall. We fell into idolatry. Everybody back then believed on these idols. It wasn't really, if you want to be honest, they had magicians, soothsayers, all kinds of people that was working through these idols type deal, or saying that they were working through these idols. Like the Egyptian during the time of Moses' time. Aaron threw down his staff, so did they, and their staffs became serpents as well. You know? Let me see if I can find this quick precept. I think it's in either Deuteronomy 30. Yeah. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods or idols, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. So this is, the Most High God is actually letting us know that there can be signs and things that come to pass, that actually come to pass from a prophet of another idol. The Most High God can make it work. He can actually make it come to pass. But he's trying to see if you actually want to serve your God, if you want to serve the Most High God. He's trying to see if you're sincere and you will serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. So let's get back to the letter of Jeremiah. These idols caused many of our people to stumble and fall. Verse 9. And taking gold as it were for a virgin that loveth to go gay, they make crowns for the heads of their gods. Sometimes also the priests convey from their gods gold and silver and bestow it upon themselves. What is it talking about? Let's grab the GNT. It says, and people make gold crowns and put them on the heads of their gods, as if these idols were girls who love jewelry. Sometimes the priests steal the silver and gold from their gods and spend it on themselves. So a lot of times these priests knew that they were just idols. A lot of times these priests just knew that this was nothing but a vessel of wood, but that they can use it to gain money, or that they can use it and to gain food. You know, a lot of the times people would bring food to the idol and think the idol would eat it, when really it would be the priest. Really, it'll be the priest. And then we see right here where the garments that they put upon the idols, the priest would take it for themselves. The gold that they would put on the idols, they would take it for themselves. Verse 11. Yea, they will give thereof to the common harlots, and deck them as men with garments, being gods of silver and gold and wood. Yet cannot these gods save themselves from rust and moth, though they be covered with purple raiment. So these guys may be dressed. I don't even want to call them gods. These idols may be dressed in purple. They may have gold. They may have all the finest of jewelry. When you go into the temple, you may see the idol covered in the most expensive things. But the scriptures say, yet they cannot save themselves from rust and moth. They can't save themselves from those things. If your God is made out of a certain type of metal, you can't, it's just going to corrode. This idol is nothing. It's nothing more than a simple vessel. And it's going to, this letter of Jeremiah is going to reiterate that a multitude of times. Verse 13, it says, they wipe their faces because of the dust of the temple, when there is much upon them. This is an idol, though. This is supposedly their God. Their God, they have to wipe their face, though. They have to go in the temple, wipe the face of the idol, wipe the idol down because of the dust that's in the temple. But it's supposedly their God. Their God supposedly makes it rain. Their God supposedly makes the harvest time plentiful. If their God can do all these things, but yet he can't wipe the dust off himself. The letter of Jeremiah is actually like it's a lot of so-called dissing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dissing of these other nations' idols. I'm going to keep reading. Verse 14. It says, and he that cannot put to death one that offendeth him holdeth a scepter, and though he were a judge of the country, he hath also in his right hand a dagger and an axe, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves. What is this going into? These idols, sometimes these idols have weapons of war in their hands. Go look up the ancient Greeks' idols. Look at their statues, look at their sculptures, and they will have axes. They will have all these kind of weapons of wars and shields and bucklers. It says, but cannot deliver himself from war and thieves. A lot of the times, a lot of these ancient idols actually got destroyed because these idols are nothing but vessels. They cannot deliver themselves. They hold these things and the nations fear them, but they can't move. They signify war, but they can't create war. They can't move nothing. They don't hold any weight. They don't hold any weight. Verse 16, it says, whereby they are known not to be gods, therefore fear them not. So this is telling us, hey, it's known around here that they are not gods, so fear them not. This was a stumbling block for a lot of our people. A lot of our people actually seen these gods, seen these men uphold these gods, seen the prophets of these idols, and feared for it. We feared it. When the Most High God told us that they are nothing, and he's showing us how that they are nothing. Verse 17, it says, for like as a vessel that a man useth is nothing worth when it is broken, even so it is with their gods when they be set up in the temple. Their eyes be full of dust through the feet of them that come in. Let's go check out the other translation. I don't remember what it say, but let's just check it out. Verse 17, those gods sitting in their temples are as useless as a broken bowl. Their eyes are filled with the dust that people kick up when they come in. So they're nothing. It's as useless as a broken bowl. It's like having a weaved basket and trying to put water in a weaved basket. The weaved basket got holes in it. It has a lot of thing. It's not, what is it? How can I put it? I can't even think of the word right now. Damn sure ain't waterproof, but it's just going to drip through. Is basically the point that I'm trying to make. All right. Verse 18. It says, and as the doors are made sure on every side upon him that offended the king. What is this talking about? It's talking about a prison. The prison bars is made sure around him that offended the king. It says, as being committed to suffer death, even so the priests make fast their temples with doors, with locks and bars, lest their gods be spoiled with robbers. I'm going to read right here. The priests fortify the temples with doors and bars and bolts, so that thieves cannot break in. The gods are locked up as securely as prisoners about to be executed for a crime against the king. So they do these things so that their idols won't get robbed and spoiled. Not everybody believed in the idols. You know, you got atheists today. You had atheists back then. Not everybody believed in these idols. Some men didn't fear these idols. Some men would go and literally rob idols. They would come up. Next thing you know, he got the chain on that the damn idol had on 2 weeks ago. He pop up with the same purple raiment. A regular man, a poor man, pop up with some purple raiment, you know. Verse 19, it says, they light them candles, yea, more than for themselves, wherefore they cannot see one. So these men light more candles in the damn temple for the idols. They light more candles in the temples for the idols than they do themselves, but the idols can't even see one. Idols can't even behold one. Verse 20, they are as one of the beams of the temple, yet they say in their hearts, yet they say their hearts are gnawed upon by things creeping out of the earth. And when they eat them and their clothes, they feel it not. Let's see what this is talking about. Verse 20, their insides are eaten away by termites, just like the wooden beams of the temple. and their clothing is destroyed, but they don't even know it. Damn idols can't feel anything. It's just a vessel. Verse 21. Their faces are blacked through the smoke that cometh out of the temple. Upon their bodies and heads sit bats, swallows, and birds, and the cats also. By this ye may know that they are no gods. Therefore fear them not. You may hear a lot of people will hear stories and mythologies about these idols and about these gods and so on and so forth, and how they're so valiant and great. But yet they got damn bats and swallows and bird poop and cats just sitting on them. They're supposed to be these valiant things. They have termites eating them out. They have all these problems that they can't even solve themselves. But yet, they're supposed to be the gods of war. They're supposed to be the gods of famine. They're supposed to be the gods of mirth, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Because a lot of people back then had gods for multiple things. They're supposed to have all these powers, yet they can't do shit for themselves. Let's keep reading. Verse 24, it says, notwithstanding the gold that is about them to make them beautiful, except they wipe off the rust, they will not shine. For neither when they were molten did they feel it. The things wherein there is no breath are bought for a most high price. The things that they're in it has no breath, they're bought for a most high price. It says they are borne upon shoulders, having no feet, whereby they declare unto men that they be nothing worth. I think this is an interesting one. Verse 26, it says, see how useless they are. They cannot walk on their own feet, but must be carried around. Verse 27, it says, they also that serve them are ashamed. For if they fall to the ground at any time, they cannot arise up again of themselves. Neither if one set them upright, can they move of themselves. Neither if they be bowed down, can they make themselves straight. But they set gifts before them as unto dead men. It says, even those who take care of them are embarrassed when one of their gods falls to the ground and has to be picked up again. When someone stands one of them in a certain place, it cannot move. And if it is leaning over, it can never straighten itself up. Offering gifts to them is like giving gifts to a corpse. That's crazy. Giving gifts to an idol is like giving gifts to a dead corpse. It's nothing, like I've been saying the whole time. There's a repeating factor. I told you it's kind of like a diss. It's just downing idols throughout this whole chapter. Giving gifts to an idol is like giving gifts to a vessel. Just if you ever try to give a gift to a bowl, that would be the same as giving a gift to an idol. Verse 28, it says, as for the things that are sacrificed unto them, their priests sell and abuse. In like manner, their wives lay up part thereof in salt, but unto the poor and impotent they give nothing of it. So the priests sell and abuse these things. And if they receive any meats or foods or anything like that, their wives lay it up in salt. What does that mean? The salt is supposed to preserve it. The salt was used back in the day to preserve foods and meats. It says, but unto the poor and impudent they give nothing of it. These nations was ruthless like that. Verse 29, it says, menstruous women and women in childbed eat their sacrifices. This is supposed to be to them, this was supposed to be a holy God, but menstruous women and women in childbed eat their sacrifices. It says, by these things ye may know that they are no gods. Fear them not. Verse 30, for how can they be called gods? Because women sit at meat before the gods of silver, gold, and wood, and their priests sit in their temples, having their clothes rent and their heads and beards shaven, and nothing upon their heads. They roar and cry before their gods, as men do at the feast when one is dead. The priests also take off their garments and clothe their wives and children, whether it be evil that one doeth unto them or good. They are not able to recompense it. They can neither set up a king nor put him down. Their idols cannot make judgments. Their idol, if a man is to do good or evil, the idol can't do anything about it. They're not able to recompense it. The idol can't set up a king for the Gentiles. The idol can't put down a king for the Gentiles. It's nothing he can do. Verse 35. In like manner, they can neither give riches nor money. Though a man make a vow unto them and keep it not, they will not require it. So what if I was to not even I'm not even gonna use me. If a man or a Gentile or a damn heathen was to make a vow to a damn idol and not keep it, the idol's not gonna require it of him. There is no power in the idol. He can't require it. I mean, it just is what it is. Literally just is what it is. But like I said, we needed this letter of Jeremiah because idols were a huge stumbling block. We just read how the Lord will cause something to come to pass, even if it's a false prophet. He will cause something to come to pass to see if you will believe in your God or not. So this is why a lot of people was dealing with back then. They were dealing with magicians and wickedness on the left-hand side, spiritual powers on the left-hand side. And a lot of men and women was dealing with it. Really, it's demons. It wasn't a damn idol. Verse 36. It says, they can save no man from death, neither deliver the weak from the mighty. They cannot restore a blind man to his sight, nor help any man in his distress. They can show no mercy to the widow, nor do good to the fatherless. Their gods of wood, and which are overlaid with gold and silver, are like the stones that be hewn out of the mountain. They that worship them shall be confounded. How should a man then think and say that they are gods, when even the Chaldeans themselves dishonor them? So the Chaldeans was counterparts with the Babylonians. How can a man say that they are gods when they themselves, their own people, dishonor their gods? Verse 41. If they shall see one dumb that cannot speak, they bring him and entreat Baal that he may speak, as though he were able to understand. If you don't know who Baal is an idol. You can read about that in Baal and the Dragon. That's also on the Apocrypha. It's dealing with Daniel, I believe. Verse 42. Yet they cannot understand this themselves, and leave them, for they have no knowledge. The woman also with cords about them, sitting in the ways, burn brand for perfume. But if any of them drawn by some that passeth by lie with him, she reproacheth her fellow, that she was not thought as worthy as herself, nor her cord broken. What does this mean? That was verse 43. It says, not only that, but women wrap cords around themselves and sit alongside the road, burning incense and offering themselves as prostitutes. When one of them is taken off for sex, she returns to ridicule the woman next to her, who was not beautiful enough to be chosen. Whatsoever is done among them is false. How may it then be thought or said that they are gods? You got all this folly and prostitution. That's kind of what was going on a lot of the times in there, in these Gentiles temples, was prostitution, fornication. If y'all ever seen the movie 300, and y'all see that one scene where it was damn goat heads, they were all in a temple, everybody was naked, you got everybody kissing on each other, women kissing women, men kissing men. It was just all out abomination going on. And that's how their temple was set up back then. That's how a lot of these Gentile temples was set up back then. It was nothing like our temple that we had set up. Verse 45. It says, they are made of carpenters and goldsmiths. They can be nothing else than the workmen will have them to be. And they themselves that made them can never continue long. How should then the things that are made of them be gods? If a man was to make something and he's gonna die, how can the thing that he make be a damn god? And he himself is going to die soon. Verse 47. For they left lies and reproaches to them that come after. What does this mean? For the people people that came after them, they told stories and they tell stories and they say, I'm gonna just use Zeus. They say Zeus did this. Zeus defeated the Titans and he fought against everybody, and he was the guy and he was the top god and he was an Olympic. That's a damn lie. They left lies and reproaches for them that come after, for their young. They left a lot of lies and stories for their young. Verse 48. For when there cometh any war or plague upon them, the priests console with themselves, where they may be hidden with them. How then cannot men perceive that they be no gods, which can which can neither save themselves from war nor from plague? For seeing they be but of wood, and overlaid with silver and gold, it shall be known hereafter that they are false. And it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings that there are no gods, but the works of men's hands, and that there is no work of God in them. Who then may not know that there are no gods? For neither can they set up a king in the land, nor give rain unto men. Neither can they judge their own cause, nor redress a wrong, being unable, for they are as crows between heaven and earth. Whereupon, when fire falleth upon the house of gods of wood, or laid over with gold and silver, their priests will flee away and escape, but they themselves shall be burned asunder like beams. So if say fire was to cause to happen out of nowhere, a damn wildfire or something to fall from heaven, anything, and it fall upon the house of an idol, if the priest leave and the priest don't leave with the idol's going to get burned up just like the wooden beam. Simple and plain. Verse 56. They can't save themselves. Verse 56. Moreover, they cannot withstand any king or enemies. How can it then be thought or said that they be gods? Neither are those gods of wood and laid over with silver or gold be able to escape either from thieves or robbers, whose gold and silver and garments wherewith they are clothed, they that are strong take and go away with all. Neither are they able to help themselves. Therefore, it is better to be a king that showeth his power, or else a profitable vessel in an house, which the owner shall have use of, than such false gods, or to be a door in an house, to keep such things therein, than such false gods, or a pillar of wood in a palace, than such false gods. So it's like I thought I heard something. The scriptures literally say it's better to be a profitable vessel in a house. It's better to be a king that showeth his power than to be an idol. It says, it's better to be a damn door. It's better to use that wood of that idol, the wood of that idol, and make a damn door out of it. That way it can keep things in and out. You know? It's better to be a damn pillar of wood in a palace, to give it a purpose. It's better to give this damn piece of wood a purpose. Hell, even firewood has purpose. It's better to make this damn idol firewood than for men to worship it and it be nothing but an empty vessel. Verse 60, it says, for sun, moon, and stars, being bright and sent to do their offices, are obedient. The sun, the moon, and the stars all obey the Most High God in their works. The sun is commanded to go up, is commanded to go down. Same thing with the moon. The moon and the sun is commanded to bring forth light. And they do it appropriately. Verse 61, in like manner, the lightning, when it breaketh forth, is easy to be seen. And after the same manner, the wind bloweth in every country. Everything has a law. The wind bloweth in every country. That's what it's supposed to do. Verse 62, and when God commandeth the clouds to go over the whole world, they do as they are bidden. Same with the clouds. And the fire sent from above to consume hills and woods doeth as it commanded. But these are like unto them neither in show nor power. So these idols aren't even, they're not like unto the elements that the Most High God created, neither in show nor in power. Verse 64, wherefore it is neither to be supposed nor said that they are gods, seeing they are able to neither judge causes nor to do good unto men. Knowing therefore that they are no gods, fear them not, for they can neither curse nor bless kings, neither can they show signs in heavens. Neither can they show signs in the heavens among the heathen, nor shine as the sun, nor give light as the moon. The beasts are better than they, for they can get under a cover and help themselves. It is then by no means manifest unto us that they are gods. Therefore fear them not. For as a scarecrow in a garden of cucumbers keepeth nothing, so are their gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold. And likewise their gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold are like to a white thorn in an orchard, that every bird sitteth upon, as also to a dead body that is east in the dark. Let's see what that's saying. Verse 71. It says, they do as much good as a thorn bush in a garden. Instead of keeping birds away, they provide a perch for them. These gods are like a dead body thrown out into the darkness. Verse 72, it says, and ye shall know them to be no gods by the bright purple that rotteth upon them, and they themselves afterwards shall be eaten, and shall be a reproach in the country. Better therefore is the just man that hath none idols, for he shall be far from reproach. So Khan, and with that I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Shalom.